We are communities and people rising from the front lines of the climate and social crises.
For generations, we have endured the harshest blows of a crisis that we did not create. Our rivers swell beyond their banks, our lands sink under floods and erosion. Our farmers lost their crops to heavy rains and heat. Each disaster takes more than we can bear, destroying livelihoods, uprooting communities, erasing cultures, violating rights, and taking precious lives.
As time passes, we grow more frustrated at the deliberate inaction and hypocrisy of those most responsible for this crisis. The global north talks of raising climate concerns, yet refuses to face the truth that its endless greed for profit and power fuels the extraction and burning of fossil fuels, driving our planet towards collapse.
Predican una transición justa, pero se aferran a las ganancias que provienen de las energías sucias. Mientras se expanden con un fin de lucro hacia nuevos horizontes supuestamente verdes, que en verdad son falsas soluciones, por esa vía también se aprovechan de nuestro pueblo y saquean nuestros bienes comunes y recursos naturales. Mientras tanto, las soluciones que vienen cultivando nuestras comunidades durante generaciones, junto al resto de sectores populares que vienen planteando la necesidad de un cambio de modelo, son ignoradas y dejadas de lado.
Today, the global north's rush to extract the minerals, labor, and materials needed for their renewable energy has triggered a new wave of exploitative mining in our communities. And once again, our communities are left to bear the cost. The poisoned rivers, damaged ecosystems, deepening inequalities, and lives thrown into crisis.
This plunder is upheld through unfair trade rules imposed on us by the global north to compel us to surrender our sovereignty and penalize our countries for not meeting climate targets even as they themselves fail to meet theirs. They deliberately designed our economies to lock us into systems that feed their consumption and industrial growth. So it is a grave injustice to demand of us the sacrifices that they still refuse to make.
The global north's refusal to fulfill their obligations blocks us from responding to climate change impact and in building the just and self-determined future that we all deserve. For years, we've been demanding that they pay up for what's rightfully owed to us, yet they've failed to deliver even their weakest promises. And instead, they drown us in debt and channeling us further to their profit interests and thus bleeding our land resources dry.
Enquanto isso, os governos investem grandes somas na expansão militar e em guerras, desviando recursos que deveriam ser usados para salvar vidas e proteger o planeta. Essas atividades militarizadas também fortalecem as forças que silenciam e reprimem aqueles que ousam resistir. Em nossas comunidades, as Forças Armadas do Estado abrem caminho para projetos de mineração, extração de madeira e energia em grande escala, resultando em assédio, prisão ou até mesmo assassinatos de defensores do meio ambiente e dos direitos humanos.
Nowhere is this militarized plunder more visible than in the ongoing occupation and genocide in Palestine. The Israeli occupation opens the way for corporate control of Palestinian resources, the expansion of settlements, and profits tied to the arms trade. The intentional destruction of ecosystems and infrastructure, the denial of food, water, and healthcare, and the impunity granted by a global system run by powerful governments and corporations expose how occupation and climate injustices are bound by the same systems.
Hasira yetu kwa dhuluma hizi inakuwa huku nafasi za ushiriki na upinzani zikiendelea kupungua. COP30 inayokuja nchini Brazil tayari inaonyesha jinsi kutengwa kunavyoendelea. Watu wale walioathiriwa zaidi na mzozo wa hali ya hewa wanapunguzwa bei na kusukumwa kando.
Para personas como nosotros, el costo de solo participar está completamente fuera de nuestro alcance. Y cuando, si por milagro logramos participar, nuestras voces son acalladas y no podemos acceder a todos los espacios. En cambio, para las empresas y para los grandes contaminadores, las puertas están abiertas de par en par y son ellos quienes debaten y deciden la supuesta acción climática.
This is climate imperialism in full display, and we've had enough. Our time calls for systemic change that opens the path for us to shape our own future.
Exigimos a los países del norte global que asuman su mayor responsabilidad histórica en la crisis climática. Esto debería traducirse en medidas concretas para eliminar gradualmente los combustibles fósiles y cumplir los ambiciosos objetivos globales de limitar el calentamiento por debajo del 1,5 grados Celsius.
We reject false climate solutions such as carbon offsets, geoengineering, carbon capture, and nature-based solutions that provide a lifeline to fossil fuels and other extractive and polluting industries and lead to the colonization of our lands and resources.
We call for support for our communities as we work to strengthen our ability to adapt to worsening climate impacts, ensure fair access to resources, and care for our shared environment through the real solutions that maintain ecological balance and defend our lands, food systems, and rights.
We call for a people-powered transition where our communities are empowered to exercise democratic control over the transformation of systems, including energy, agriculture, trade, and finance, based on our own context and needs.
Tunadai kwamba nchi za kimataifa za kaskazini zilipe nchi za kusini za kimataifa kupitia ufadhili mpya wa ziada wa kutosha unaotegemea ruzuku na unaotabirika kwa kukabiliana na hali ya hewa, kuhakikisha mabadiliko ya haki na usawa na fidia kwa hasara na uharibifu.
We assert the decision-making process must be transformed to put indigenous people, farmer, urban poor, fisher folk, women, children, and other marginalized groups at the heart of climate policy making. Climate justice means ensuring their voice lead the way and placing strong safeguards to kick the big polluter out of this space.
We demand an end to militarism, occupation, and genocide in Palestine across the world, along with the defense of people's rights. This entails dismantling military alliances, shutting down foreign military bases, and defending human rights and environmental defenders.
We are communities and people rising from the front lines of the climate and social crises.
And we vow to fight for these demands in and out of COP30. We will continue to rise and resist with the masses of the world.
From the south to the north,
from the village to the city,
from the river to the sea,
until justice becomes our shared reality.